Hi, so let's talk about HTTP SOAP API mocking and service virtualization. So we're gonna have a UV index application that's gonna be tested by me, and this application is going to be connecting to this SOAP API. And what we're gonna do is put traffic parrot in the middle to record and then play back the traffic. And then we're gonna demo how to edit that recording and hence edit the response that gets returned to the user. Okay, so let's have a look at that application first of all. So I've got this UV index application here. I'm going to extract it, and you can download this application from trafficparrot.com/documentation. There it is, it's been extracted. I'm going to open it up. And it's a very simple application. All it does is sends a SOAP request to this URL, this host on this port, and it puts in the SOAP request a zip code that's provided by the user here in this input. So let me press get, and what happens now is a request has been sent to the API, and we got a response, and the application presents something back to the user based on this response. So we can see that the alert was set to false in the response and the index was 0. Okay. So what we're going to do now is put traffic parrot between this application and the API. So first of all, let's extract traffic parrot. And traffic parrot will record our traffic, and then we will be able to play it back. So I'm going to start traffic parrot. There it's running on localhost 8081. So I'm going to go and open that URL. There we go. And I'm going to go straight to recording. And the URL I am going to record is going to be the one from the UV index application. So I'm just going to copy and paste it here, start the recording. And we've got a recorder that's proxying the traffic to this URL, but it's running on port 8081 localhost. So what I want to do right now is point the UV index application at traffic parrot. So I'm going to say it's localhost, it's HTTP, and the port is 8081. So let's send that request again. And we got the same response, no change there, but what has happened was traffic parrot has recorded something. Okay, so we can see this recording. It's recorded a request and a response, and the request looks like this and the response looks like this. And if you look at the raw data, you're gonna see what you expect, which is the SOAP envelope, SOAP header, SOAP body, and similar in the response. But we're gonna use this visual XML editor just because it's nicer. Okay, so what I can do is stop the recording now and go back to our application, and whenever I press the get button, we're not actually sending any requests to the real API, we're sending it to traffic parrot, which is localhost 8081. Okay, so if I change the response that we have recorded in traffic parrot, and let's say instead of index 0, I'm going to say it's 999. Save that. What's going to happen in the application is we're going to get a different index. Okay. So this is how I simulated a hypothetical situation where the index returned by the real API was 0, but I've set it to 999. What we can do right now is also generate dynamic responses. So what I would like to see is this index to be generated dynamically based on the response. So what I would like to do is have the value of the request zip code, which is in 0, the zip code, populated in the index field in the response. How would you do that? Well, right now, again, if I send the request, doesn't matter how many times I send it, it's always going to be 999 because it's static. It's just set to 999 here. But what I can do is look at traffic parrot documentation. So go to main traffic parrot website, go to documentation, go to extend, scroll a bit down. What I'm gonna see here is how to use XPaths to extract data from request attributes. Okay. And if you don't know what XPath is, just click on this link and you're gonna learn all about it. But what I'm gonna do is copy exactly that. And sorry, I'm gonna go to traffic parrot, and instead of 999, I'm gonna use this notation, double mustache, the handlebars notation, to generate a dynamic response. So I'm saying execute the XPath expression. I'm gonna say it's request.body, which is the source attribute, and I know it's request.body because if you scroll back a bit on this page, you're gonna see using request data and responses, and for HTTP you can say request.body, which is gonna return the request body. Okay, so I'm saying XPath request.body, and then I need the XPath value actually. And if you read the tutorial that I've shared with you, what I'm gonna do is basically access any tags that have the name IN0, and I'm gonna get the text value of that tag. So again, if you want to know how to create XPaths, how to write in this XPath language or notation, it's pretty straightforward actually. There's many tutorials, and one of them is linked on the website that I've just shown you from Traffic Parrot documentation just here. Okay. Anyway, so we've got our XPath expression ready. I'm gonna click OK, save that. And what happens right now is if I send get, what I get in the response is the input value of the zip code that we've sent it. But if I change this zip code to something else, I get an error. Why is that? Well, you can look at traffic parrot logs to understand what it's actually returned and why are we getting errors. So we're getting errors, and if you look at the logs for traffic parrot and scroll to the very bottom here, what you're gonna see is the traffic parrot has received a request to localhost 8081, and this was the request with our new postcode here, and it tried to match this request to this pattern that we've got recorded and then edited. Unfortunately, the URL matched, the method matched, the headers matched, the query parameters matched, the cookies matched, but the body did not match. So why did the body not match? Well, let's look at traffic parrot again and open up this mapping. And the body did not match because what we've got in the body, request body, is still a matcher that says that the request needs to be equal to XML and this whole value, which means we're only matching against this one postcode, or sorry, zip code. So what we can do is change it. Instead of a specific value, we can use any number, for example. And you can see this request body matcher has changed from matches equal to XML to matches XML, so that we can use these funny matchers like any number, for example. Okay, so I'm gonna save it now, go back to our application, press get, and there we go. So now any zip code I put in here in the request is going to be rendered in the response as a dynamic response. Okay, so there it is. Let's quickly go through again what we have talked about here. So we've had a UV index application that was connecting to the UV index SOAP API. We've put traffic parrot in the middle to record the traffic and then play back the traffic. And then we demonstrated how we can change those recordings and generate dynamic responses to the user. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.